Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into something I think a lot of people feel, creative crunch. Specifically for user-generated content creators, UGC creators, working on brand briefs.
Right, it's this constant pressure.
Yeah, if you ever stared at a blank page or you're just curious about how online content actually gets made under pressure, this is for you.
Mm.
We've been looking through Reddit, seeing what these creators are saying about, why it's so hard to keep ideas fresh.
And what they're trying to do about it. It's pretty revealing. You really see this feeling of being creatively tapped out.
Totally drained.
Yeah, staring at that screen, another campaign due, maybe multiple this week. It's not just a one-off block, it's baked into the workflow almost.
And you see them mention falling back on, like simple edits.
Yeah.
Or stock footage.
Exactly. When that idea well feels dry, you grab what's easy.
Okay, so let's dig into why. Why is this fatigue so common for them? Reddit seemed to point to them working alone a lot.
That's a huge factor. Being a solo operator. Unlike a big agency with brainstorming sessions, these creators are often doing everything.
Everything meeting.
The concept, the title, the script, shooting it, editing, the call to action, all of it. That's a massive mental load for one person.
Wow, yeah.
And then there's the sheer volume. Brands often want options, right?
Uh,
So maybe 3 or more distinct ideas for one campaign. And this is often happening while they're juggling other clients, other projects.
so is creativity on demand,
Yeah.
again and again, fast.
Under tight deadlines, exactly.
What about feedback? If you're working alone, you don't really get that external perspective, right?
That's another key thing from the discussions. It's easy to get stuck in your own head, your own style, an
Okay.
echo chamber.
Leads to repetition.
It seems so. Without diverse input, the ideas can start feeling, a bit samey, stuck in a rut.
And does this pressure, the deadlines, make them less likely to try new things, like take creative risks?
It definitely seems to push them towards safe formats, stuff they know works, things that have been approved before.
Because experimenting takes time.
Time they often don't have. So that potentially brilliant, but maybe more complex idea might get shelved for something reliable.
We actually saw some quotes on Reddit illustrating this, didn't we?
We did. There was e-writer Burnout who said something like, by my 5th script of the week, I was just swapping text on the same template. It felt soulless.
Oof. You can feel that.
Yeah. And USACE UGC mentioned wanting to try a new style, but sticking with the known quantity because of time pressure. I stuck with what I knew would get approved.
Right, that conflict between wanting to innovate and just needing to get it done.
Exactly.
Okay, so it sounds challenging, but are they finding ways to cope, to refresh their creativity?
Yes, definitely. And the strategies they're sharing are pretty practical, I think useful, even if you're not a UGC creator.
Okay, like what?
Well, one big one is idea journaling, basically keeping an ongoing list.
Of anything.
Yeah. Random thoughts, cool formats you see, trends, sounds. Just capture it all somewhere. So
Yeah.
when you are stuck, you have this personal reservoir to draw from.
Like building up your own inspiration bank. I like that. What else?
Another one is creating a swipe file, specifically for ads or posts they find effective.
Saving stuff they like.
Saving and analyzing it, not to copy, but to figure out why it works. What's the hook? What's the structure? Then they can remix those elements.
Okay, sort of reverse engineering success.
Yeah.
Smart.
And collaboration comes up too.
Mhm.
Even informal peer brainstorm sessions.
They're talking to other creators.
Yeah, just bouncing ideas around, getting that crucial outside perspective. They miss working solo. It can really break things open.
Makes sense. Any other tactics?
Some people use theme days, like
Right.
dedicating certain days to certain types of content.
How does that help?
It provides structure. If Tuesday is always Tutorial Tuesday, it narrows the focus and can actually make it easier to come up with ideas within that theme.
Less blank page paralysis.
Kind of, yeah. And finally, using tools, prompt generators online, or even just structured brief templates, things to just kickstart the process.
Get the ball rolling when you feel completely stuck.
Exactly. Just something to react to.
Okay, so summing up, the core challenge is this intense solo pressure for constant novelty.
Right. It's demanding, no doubt. But the encouraging part is seeing these practical strategies emerge from the community itself.
They're actively finding ways to fight the fatigue, to refill that creative well.
And building systems to keep the ideas flowing.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How those principles, getting diverse input, structured brainstorming, learning from examples, could apply anywhere creativity is needed.
Absolutely, in any field.
Yeah. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. What's one idea well in your own work or even just your interests that you could start intentionally replenishing today?
Food for thought.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.